Hi, thank you for that introduction, and it is an honour and a privilege to be part of this book launch by Leanne. Look, I have a confession to make. I've only read the PDF version of it, the online version of it that I've been sent, and this is the best I can do. I can print out the front copy of the book. I am just waiting very excitedly for the hard copy to arrive in the mail, so that I can read it, leaf through it, and then encourage my wife to read it, and then one day pass it on to my kids when they have children as well. Look, I think I came across Leanne and I first met as part of the Say No to Dope campaign last year, where we were encouraging a no vote on the cannabis referendum. And I think that was an area of commonality, that we wanted to protect families, we wanted to protect young people. And so it was, an honour to join and lock arms with her as we were part of that particular campaign. But of course, when she first came on the scenes, she was labelled as the neurodevelopment therapist. And I thought, man, that is bright. She's going to be really high Q. I'm not going to be able to relate to her. I'm going to have to be careful of the words I use. But what I found, of course, when I met her, and as you probably already know, is that she is right down to earth, very personable. And I think that's reflected in the book. And I want to just read the opening statement that she makes in the book, one of the opening statements, because I think it sums up for me why this book is so important and so relevant. She says, modern day parenting just seems difficult. With a million programs and philosophies, globalization and information overload, it can be tough just to find out the basics. What really matters? How can I give my child the best start? What are the keys to success? If you've ever felt that you have done all you can for your kids, or you want to do your best as a parent, then this book is for you. My intention in creating this book is that through sharing my lessons, you and your children will benefit, that you can avoid the mistakes I have made, so that your kids will flourish and enjoy the best you, and so that you as a parent can love your role as a mum or a dad, and so that you all can make the most of the beautiful journey, which is family. If I wrote a book, that's probably the intro I would give as well. And I think, Leanne she doesn't come across as a parenting expert that knows everything. In fact, she comes across with this realism. And I think that's because of her qualifications, because not only is she an academic, but she's a trained teacher and she's a mum. So there is that realism aspect. Back in 1994, I actually set up an organisation which worked with at-risk youth and their families in the South Auckland community. It still is going today. And at the time, we were offering parenting support and parenting programs. And so we sourced some parenting programs and I would host those. And of course, I would come across as the person who seemed to know all about parenting, the parenting expert. Little did they know. And I felt I could solve the problems, and whatever problem a parent threw at me, I could help them work through it. So I thought I was a pretty good parent. Then we had children, our own children, and I became an actual parent. And I quickly learned that actually parenting is quite a tough job. And what amazed me was the fact that out of the same gene pool, out of the same parents, could come 3 kids in our case that were totally different in terms of their personality and what worked, what didn't work with them, and how we raised them. They were all part of the family, but they were very different. And so what I like about Leanne's book is that it acknowledges that, firstly, she is not the perfect parent, that we're all on the journey together, but she brings some new tools that we can use in our parenting. And I do like the acronym around love. To be honest, I think I would have struggled with the V word, trying to think what word we could use. I mean, what is it? Vestibular stimulation, which is movement. But I mean, I'm not even sure if I said that right, let alone be able to spell it. But, language, outdoors, vestibular stimulation and exploration. Those are all key things that she has built the book around, and they're all completely relevant. The language one, of course, hit home with me because when I was young, I used to mumble a lot, and my mother got a bit annoyed with it. And so she sent me off to elocution lessons. which is a Ponzi word for speech lessons, learning to speak properly and pronounce my consonants and vowels properly. I'm grateful for that now, because it probably was good training for some of the career areas that I've got into as an adult. And the other thing that I really appreciated about the LOVE acronym was about the outdoors, because for Family First, we've released some reports around the whole area of screen time and technology, and the fact that kids are spending more and more time looking at a screen and less time actually outdoors discovering and not looking at screens. And that is having an impact. In fact, in the report that we released, it talked about kids the level of empathy that kids can show is being affected, because they're not dealing with real people all the time, and they're not reading body language, and they're not seeing emotions in the face and the smiles, and it's affecting our kids. And maybe we'll see, unfortunately, a little bit of that effect when we come out of lockdown, especially for us Aucklanders. So that whole area of getting outdoors, discovering, interacting with others, and that concept of love overriding it all is really important for our kids, especially at the moment. So, that was a great foundation for the book of LOVE. And like I said, I think Leanne is in a really good place in terms of her life experience and her qualifications to be able to write this. I think, when you read a parenting book, parenting experts tend to come across and they can sound quite academic, and it can sort of go straight over your head, and you wonder how relevant it is. But as I read this book, I felt that it was right down to earth. It was real. Sure, it gives some great theories behind what Leanne is saying to back up what she's saying, but at the same time, it is very real and relatable too. And for parents, whether they're very intelligent or whether they're not intelligent like me, they can still relate to what the book says. And whoever did the layout for the book, congratulations, because I think it's just been really well set up. It's encouraging. It's good nice for the eyes to read. And of course, you've got these questions at the end, fill in the gaps. You've got all these suggestions and the anecdotes as well. So it just has lots of variety and keeps the reader engaged. So I found it really encouraging in that respect. Look, I just want to finish. I'm just about out of time, but I just want to finish with actually Leanne's words in the book when she finishes the book, because it's what I would say, I think. And she says this, and it's something that I would want every parent to hear. And it says, "My final encouragement to you is to keep going. Don't give up. Don't give in to it's too hard. Allow yourself to be supported as you also in turn support others. Be kind to yourself. You don't know everything, and you don't have to. You just need to know that you are making a difference in your child's life." Let me say that again. You are making a difference. In fact, the defining difference. It's a great word of encouragement, and I would like that word of encouragement to be spoken to every parent to a point that they truly understand just how important they are. So Leanne, congratulations on a fantastic book. I hope to help you get it to the bestseller in New Zealand as soon as possible. But congratulations on the launch of it today. And I'm looking forward to receiving my hard copy, hint, hint. And thank you, everybody. It's been a privilege and an honor to be part of this book launch.